Cinderella. Lydia was a beautiful girl and she lived a happy life. But one fateful day, her kind mother died and she was left alone with her father. Her father immediately started thinking about remarrying. After a long search, he decided to marry a widow, the mother of 2 ugly daughters. In the beginning, the widow was very kind to Lydia in order to achieve her goal. But as soon as she became her stepmother, she would take away some of her dresses every day and give them to her own daughters. She would constantly scold her and order her to do the hardest and dirtiest chores. That's why the stepsisters started calling her Cinderella. One morning they told her, "Tomorrow there will be a grand ball in the courtyard to choose a bride for the prince. Prepare our finest dresses." Cinderella set to work, and the following evening she helped her stepsisters and stepmother get dressed and adorned. As soon as they left the house, the girl collapsed next to the hearth, dead tired and sad. While wiping her tears, she suddenly saw a dazzling light through the window. In an instant, a beautiful fairy appeared and spoke to her. "Don't cry, my dear. I will help you become more beautiful than the sun. You just have to listen to me." "And who are you?" Cinderella asked in astonishment. "I am a good fairy. I was a friend of your mother's, and I was present at your birth. You were named after me." Saying this, the fairy raised her magic wand, and immediately a golden carriage appeared with 5 white horses harnessed to it. Cinderella was dressed beautifully. "Now go to the ball," the fairy said to her. "Just make sure you return before midnight and don't reveal your identity to anyone." When Cinderella appeared in the courtyard, everyone stared at her in awe. The orchestra stopped playing and the dancers paused. The prince was captivated by her and walked towards her. "Welcome to my court. Who are you? Where are you from?" Cinderella replied with just a smile. When he asked again, she told him that she couldn't reveal who she was, that she came only to see him, and that she had to be home 5 minutes before midnight. And that's what she did. When her stepsisters returned, she asked them if they had a good time at the ball. "The prince asked me to marry him," said the older sister, all agitated, "but everything was ruined because of some unknown girl." "Who wasn't even that beautiful," added the other sister. "I would say she was ugly and overdressed. But since the prince didn't choose anyone, there will be another ball in 5 days. You'll see, he'll choose me then." "Are you really that confident?" Cinderella asked. Offended, the stepsister lashed out at her, telling her not to meddle in her affairs. "Look at how ugly and dirty you are from the ashes. Instead of poking your nose into other people's business, you'd better light a fire." This time, Cinderella didn't cry. As soon as she finished her chores, she ran to the kitchen and called upon the fairy. When she saw her, she asked her to enable her to go to the ball again. The fairy promised to help her, but warned her to return home before midnight. Cinderella arrived a little late to the ball. The prince was impatiently waiting for her, He was overjoyed when he finally saw her. "This is the last ball," he said to her. "Therefore, you must tell me your name. If you don't, I will close all the doors in the courtyard and you won't be able to leave." "I beg you, please don't do that," Cinderella pleaded. "My name must remain a secret, as well as the place I come from. Maybe one day I will be able to reveal everything to you, but for now I can't do it." Just as the clock struck midnight, the prince grabbed her hand. The girl ran off, terribly frightened, and in her haste she lost one of her slippers. It was the only memento of her for the unfortunate prince. But he didn't lose hope. The next day he sent messengers throughout the land to proclaim, "All the girls with small feet should come to the palace. The one who manages to put on the lost slipper will marry the prince." When the girls heard the prince's message, they rushed to the palace, but none of them could put on the slipper. Then the servants went from house to house, searching for the mysterious girl. To their great surprise, the slipper fit only Cinderella's foot. As soon as he heard the news, the prince mounted his horse and rode to the girl's house. "I have finally found you," he exclaimed excitedly. "To prove that you are truly the one, let me see the other slipper." Cinderella didn't have the other slipper, and she was already afraid that her happiness would forever elude her. Suddenly, she saw a dazzling light again, and then the fairy appeared beside the hearth, holding the other slipper in her hand. You can imagine how happy Cinderella and the prince were. They immediately began preparations for the wedding, to which they invited the stepmother and her 2 daughters. The prince strictly forbade any girl from chopping wood or picking raspberries ever again. He built a palace of silver and crystal for his bride and asked the fairy to be the godmother of their first child. "Stay with us at the palace," the prince said to her. "You are too kind," the fairy replied. "I will return when your first child is born, but for now I must go. I have no estates or houses. I don't need food or clothes. During the day I commune with the clouds, and at night with the stars. But even so, I will never leave you, and I will always know when danger threatens you. Farewell, and be happy."